come you guys got better powers than me?
It's a secret.
Shut up.
Hi everyone, it's Rocky, and Thordan thought I was having a particularly good hair day and asked me to do the intro and outro. So today's topic is everyone's favorite thing in Apex Legends, which is heirlooms, and specifically Seer's heirloom, and what that has to do with all the ongoing buffs and nerfs of the game and what Respawn's actually doing to fix the meta of the game. And as always, there is a giveaway. We're gonna do 55 bucks. Like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe put down what your favorite heirloom is and what you would want if you could have any one.
So Apex Legends for the longest time had tons of vibrant updates every time we got a new season. Just looking at the season 9 patch notes right here, you can see they did changes on a ton of different legends. And this was pretty common in the early seasons of Apex. There was always tweaks and something new to see in the game that really made it way more interesting and fun to play, rather than playing a new season the same way that we played the last one. And for the last couple of seasons, we've seen a slow decline in the buffs and nerfs, to the point where season 15 has hit the lowest we've ever seen, where there were no major meta changes to any legend whatsoever. There were some BFX fixes and bug issues resolved, but overall, nothing that made season 15 different playing with the legends than season 14. And there are a couple of reasons for this. One is that the ALGS, the Pro League competition for Apex Legends, is going on right now and won't be ending, unfortunately, with Split 1 until February when the first LAN is played, which is very bad news because it could indicate that we won't be seeing any major shakeup until season 16, which would be an absolute travesty. Something that is often overlooked, I think, by Respawn is the fact that they did just launch a new competitive build, which the pros are playing on for these events. I think it would be a good idea to keep that build with the current meta as we see now, so that there's no major shakeups in the way that they play, and allow the public player base to get a lot of meta changes and actually get a test period to see which of these actually would work, and then you can change the competitive build for the next season. I don't know, it's just an idea, but if you have two different versions of the game and you don't want to ruin ALGS with buffs and nerfs, using the competitive build would be a good key way to do that, while allowing the player base to enjoy a shakeup to the way that they played the game in the past. But even bigger than ALGS, and this is pretty easy to spot, is EA likes money. I know, shocker. I'm assuming most of you are very surprised by this. But starting back at around the time of Revenant's heirloom back in that season 9 patch, they started introducing buffs specifically for legends right when they got their heirloom. We saw that with Revenant, we saw it with Rampart, we saw it with Watson, and we saw it with Crypto. The only legend that actually didn't fit in this mold was Loba. And well, Loba's heirloom was just gonna sell because it's Loba. And with some legends, Respawn and EA have actually adjusted their strategy. For instance, it's very well known at this point that we are getting the Seer heirloom this season. Everyone's been talking about it, we've seen it, it's the dual wield one. It's very cool, I like it a lot. But also the general player base knows that Seer is pretty powerful right now, so you're not gonna buff him to sell an heirloom. But a recent comment made by Josh Medina where he did say that they are going to be doing a response in regard to one legend in particular, which is Seer. They have a big nerf planned for him. And you might be wondering, well, wait, they're gonna nerf and release an heirloom? That contradicts what you're saying, Thordan. No, they're gonna nerf him after that heirloom releases, like I said, when ALGS Split 1 is done. That way they can maximize the profits on an heirloom without actually giving us any meaningful changes in game, which is a huge red flag, and I personally think is a way to manipulate its audience. Don't get me wrong, I like heirlooms, I like meta changes, but to tie the two in together to maximize the way that EA makes money just seems a little greedy to me. And it also leads to an issue, like we just mentioned, where not a lot of legends see any love because there's just not a way to make a lot of money on it. For instance, Pathfinder, who received his heirloom, I think back in season 3 or 4, it was a long time ago, he had his passive given to every other legend. And it was promised at the time that they would be reworking Pathfinder's passive. This was around the time of season 6 or 7, I believe. Regardless, they have not done anything to Pathfinder's passive in the last 7 seasons. We also know that in the future, they are going to be just redoing entire classes, as that same developer did say that they wanted to bring a more balanced roster of class roles to the table in the future at some point. So that is likely when Pathfinder will get his passive once again in season 16, so we've got to go the entire long time of season 15 with no major changes. And if you were really wondering about the money side of things, well, John Larson actually kind of gave it away, saying that they do want to do a buff for Revenant because his pick rate is low, and they're motivated to do his thematic design justice with rewarding gameplay, saying that, hey, we know that he has really cool skins and we want to sell those skins, but no one really wants to play him, so we can't sell as many skins, so we're gonna make him better, when there's still tons of other legends out there that aren't receiving any kind of reworks whatsoever because maybe their skins just don't sell as well. They don't have that thematic design. Overall, I do hope we see a lot of these changes come very soon. Season 15 is shaping up to be one of the worst in Apex Legends history, and utilizing the buffs and nerfs around legend classes depending on whether or not they can sell cosmetics, heirlooms, or other things just doesn't come across very well to the general player base.
So that's our video for today. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of Seer's heirloom. Do you think it's cool? Would you change any other heirlooms? Personally, I kind of think Lifelines heirloom would be amazing if it was like defibrillators, or for Loba if she had like a really badass ring, but alas, I do not work for Respawn. So until next time, legends, keep slaying in the Outlands, and happy holidays.